When you think about mobility, you may not often think about what your feet do. You're focused on your hips, your thoracic area, and your shoulders, but a lot of times people aren't thinking about what their feet are able to do mobility-wise. And that is one thing that I want to make sure that you understand. It is probably one of the most important aspects of mobility that we should be focusing on. And that is why during the spring mobility program, we spend the first couple of weeks working on our feet. If you deal with shoulder pain, hip pain, knee pain, oftentimes you can look at your feet and your ankle and notice that there might be a restriction there, which may be going up the chain and creating pain elsewhere. Another thing that I tend to notice is people who have pelvic floor issues also tend to have weakness in their mobility of their big toe. There are a lot of things that go up the chain all the way up into the tongue, which has a lot to do with the neck and shoulder tension, that can be relayed all the way down to the feet. So make sure that you can do these few things with your feet. And then if you're struggling, let me know and I'll see if I can help you more. So the first one is see if you can separate your toes. If you are able to separate your toes while you are standing there, try to separate them as much as possible. Notice if you can see the floor in between each toe. That is the goal. If you struggle with that, there are little yoga feet that you can put on in between your toes to kind of help work on letting them expand naturally. I would make sure that if you do those, you start slow, only about 30 minutes with them on until you can start to add more time onto it. It's just like if you were to train for a 5K run, you're not going to go out and try to run the 5K all at once. You're going to start slow and build up. The same thing with your feet. You need to be able to allow them to get used to the stretching so that they don't create achiness. The second thing that you need to make sure that you are able to do is try to press your big toe down and lift your little toes up without moving through the ankle. So you're going to want to press the big toe down, lift the little toes up, and then press the little toe down and the big toes up. Working through that lets you see what your metatarsals, if they're able to move real well. And that's just going to increase those intrinsic muscles within the feet to help support you throughout the day, make sure that they're moving really well. Sorry if you can hear the wind. It is very windy today. The third thing I would say you need to make sure you work on or focus on is ankle mobility. So circle your ankles one direction, circle them the other direction. Notice if there's a difference between either side. Is one more mobile than the other? That is a key indicator that you need to work on the mobility within your ankle a little bit more. They have found that if you, as you get older, are unable to twirl, to do ankle circles, they also found that a portion of the brain has shut down. So really make sure that you keep that neuromuscular connection so that you're not dealing with things like neuropathy as time goes on. And the last thing is, can you windshield wiper your feet and move through different ankle movements to see how you are able to respond through the foot itself, foot and ankle. This will let you see, again, comparing one side to the other side. You always want to do that when you're looking at anything mobility-wise in the body. Is don't worry about how you compare to anyone else. Just pay attention to yourself. And what do you notice on one side compared to the other side? That is going to be a more practical guide for you to help you in your own alignment and mobility. So just notice if you're able to do one side more than the other, then you need to really start moving into the other side more. Or if you notice one side does, so say you're able to turn out, but you're not able to turn in, then you're going to want to focus on the turning in of that other side to kind of even you out, get you back into alignment, so to speak, because it might be something up the line